Today we're going to repot this Japanese maple. This is the Acer Palmatum fireglow. Now it's almost 50 years old and it's been in this cement container for close to 20 years now. The last few years I noticed the roots were getting a little compact, so I would take a 12-inch spike and drive several nails and pull them out to get the aeration for moisture and nutrients to get down into the lower roots. And you can see that process on a previous video I did on repotting maples. So what I'm going to do first is remove the excess mulch that we put on the trees during the winter just to give them a little more protection. Then I'm going to take my old lawnmower blade and I'm going to loosen the edges of the inside rim. So I'll just remove the soil. Okay, so now this old lawnmower blade, I literally push it into the side of the pot and push down. This just frees up the roots that may be bound to the inside edge of this cement pot. A little tougher at this corner here. There we go, loosens it up. Now to this side. And this last little corner here is straight up the edge. Okay, now I'm going to tilt the pot on its edge and then physically just pull this tree right out. So I'll just get set up for that now. Okay, so now I've tilted the pot. I've got a little 4x4 here so it's at an angle, and I'm just going to wiggle this tree, get it out of the pot, and have it standing on the tarp here. Pops out pretty easy, as you can see. Let's get up a little more, and there we go. Stand up. Okay, now you can see lots and lots of fibrous roots. I'm going to physically take my saw. I'm going to cut right about here. So that'll take off almost 40% or so of the lower root system, and I will also cut in about 2 inches or approximately 5 centimeters if we're thinking metric. So I'll just get set up once again and I'll start making the cuts. So this is my favorite saw for doing root pruning. It's got a finer blade on one end and a coarser blade on the other. I do always wipe it to sterilize it before I start making a cut, which I've already done. So I'm going to cut actually a little more than I thought I would originally, likely about 45% of the tree. Now there's a couple of larger roots that have grown, as you can see here, as well as the fibrous roots. So I'll just start cutting. Start with this thick guy. And now go right down through. cutting's quite easy actually. It goes quick. I'll go right to the bottom. I'm going to turn around and cut this side. See if I can pry it slightly. Okay. From the bottom here. And there it is. One more little guy here. And I've now cut off the bottom. And then now I'm going to trim the sides a little bit. Now when I trim the sides, I'm going to go a little heavier on this side because you'll notice there's some thicker limbs that I just want to leave. So once I take away part of this edge, and I'll also take away part of the back edge, I'll knock off quite a bit. Then I'll recenter the tree in the pot so that I can pack the new soil equally. So here I go. I'm just going to take off this side. Again, I'm going with the coarse blade. I'll peel it back as I make the cuts. It's just a little bit on the bottom here. And one more down here. There we go, I've made the cut. Now I'll just pivot the tree. And I'm going to make one more cut right along here. Rock in there. Okay. Gonna make the cut starting here. Good workout. And it's coming apart now. One larger branch here. And just a bit on the bottom here. Get my trimmers. Cut this guy out. And this guy. And there we go. trim the bottom of it. Okay, I think I'll take a little bit more off this edge too. I'll just bring it back a hair. I'll leave that main root there. And now you'll notice, because it's been in a container its whole life, we have very, very fibrous roots rather than longer main root structures that you would normally see in a field-grown specimen. So, it's been root pruned from the bottom and the sides. So now, all I need to do, mix up some fresh soil, which will be a composted mulch and a regular mulch that I'll toss together. And again, you can see that on my soil mix video that I recommend for container grown trees. Also, what I will do before I put this tree into the cement pot, I'm going to put about 10 inches, 25 centimeters of a larger round rock just to assist and let the drainage flow right through to the bottom of the root system, and that will prevent clogging at the bottom, as well as the rocks will prevent the soil from compacting eventually years down the road. It's always been very successful. I've never had any issues with water retention in the pots. So I'll get set up for the next step. Okay, now I've brought the cement pot right back to the location where I'm going to repot the tree, because it's a heck of a lot less weight if I move it piece by piece. So the pot's in position, and now I'm going to add some round rocks in the bottom, almost 1 foot or 25 or 30 centimeters in height. So I'll grab the bag. Open it up. There we go. So the rocks are in place, and again, that assists in the drainage. We don't need that deep a soil for the tree anyway. Now what I'll do, I'll top dress a little mulch that I've already pre-mixed, and again, it's a composted mulch and a regular bark mulch that I've mixed together. A little bit of sand in there, which is the mix I always use for all of the Japanese maples. And one note, of course, make sure when you're doing the actual root pruning that you only do it when the tree is in its dormant state. Of course, never do a root prune in spring, summer, or early fall. Wait until the leaves are off, it's fully dormant. Optimum time would be the month of February. If you're in an area that gets severe cold, you may want to wait until early March. And on the other hand, if you're in an area that never gets frost, well, you can do the root prune as soon as the tree is dormant, so likely end of November or so. So I'll just add the soil. Now I'm going to go get the tree and place it in the container and set up the positioning before I add the final mix. Okay, I'm going to lift the tree, set it in the pot. Much lighter now with those roots pruned. I'll set it inside. Now I'm just going to center it. Actually, looks pretty good. I've got a little more space on this side, but that's the side where I cut a lot out. I've still got space on this side where I can drop soil in. Just give it a little pivot here. Get it sitting level. Take a visual. It's looking good. Okay, so I'm going to grab my remaining soil now and pack it inside. Just start by dumping it on, and I'll work it into the sides, tap it down lightly. Now this front part here, push it into the tree, give it a little shake, helps push the soil in and around. It packs up really nice and easy as the soil just drops into place. There we go. I would say that's done. Now, in the spring, I'll apply a 6-month slow release fertilizer like I always do with all our containers. An Osmocote 16-10-10 is ideal. If you can't find that, a 14-14-14 mix does the job. And again, for a tree this size, 1 to 2 tablespoons, just one application. Just throw it on top, cover it with a light topping of mulch, just so the birds don't spot it and try to eat it. Of course, it's not good for them. And there we go, that's it. The tree is repotted, and it should be good for another 10 or 15 years. I likely won't let it go as long as I did this last time, as it could have come out a little earlier, but everything went very, very smooth regardless. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe, as I really appreciate that, as I've got more videos to come. Thanks a lot.